Hello everybody. This is Douglas Truth, and I've got this. You can see my hands. You can see this really nice 8.5 by 11 book of beautiful watercolor paper, and it's beautifully bound in there with threads and stuff. And then it's got this waterproof cover on the outside. It's the thing is, I have to confess here, I've had this for a while. A friend gave it to me, and without noticing that I was doing so, it was unconsciously. It was like, it's just too good. It's too good to, I got to keep it back for some other day. I don't know what the conditions that would have to be met to use it. Maybe when I get to be really good painter or something like that. I don't know. But, one day recently I just got tired of all that, and I said, hey, I'm just going to get in there and I'm going to paint what I paint, and, whatever, right? So I'm good enough for it. Yeah. So I'm going to open up. So, the first sketch I did was this underway. It's sometimes for inspiration I try to I go back to the scene of another crime, a previous crime, a watercolor crime. In this case, it was like one of my favorite paintings, watercolor underneath a freeway underpass. And this is kind of like a same photograph, different era, maybe. I'm not sure, but there's a mailbox and there's a huge, gigantic ant here. And I must explain, Ant is a character, long-running character and friend, co-star. Really, I am the co-star. It's like Ant with Douglas Truth. That's how it goes. The show that we do. And so Ant, I met, well, that's the whole story. Like, it takes a long time to tell how Ant I met and the friendship grew and stuff like that. Anyway, it comes down to, like, we got a show now, a regular show with Edith the dog and Tom the pig and Barry the vulture. And there's a donkey somewhere trying to get into the gang. Can I play with you guys? Anyway, Ant here, right? So, contractual whiz, the Ant's been doing legal stuff for a long, long time. And, second nature, they just crawl around on the page until it's all done. Anyway, Ant said, if you do me to scale, then I will never, ever, ever show up. I will never even be a little dot. A dot would be too big for me on this page. So you have to draw me at least the size of like a small car. Maybe one of those little Messerschmitt three-wheel deals where the front opens up. Maybe that size. That's big enough. And purple. Brighter the better, she says. Actually, she's not that bright. It's not that purple. But she's Ant. And so, we're friends. And, well, it's a long story, right? That's what stories are for, just to be long and to go on adventures together. And we'll talk about that someday soon, I'm sure. Morning, it says here right now. I just must have been painting that in the morning, just to spur of the moment. Ad hoc. Morning. Vulture is, patience is, this vulture's particular superpower. Barry got alienated from his kettle, or whatever they call the group of vultures. It's a wake, perhaps. Anyway, did not like the company. So he went off on his own, and tried to present himself as a turkey. And, some people would just let it go. Other people would, try to humiliate him, because a vulture, after all, is why not? Anyway, Barry comes and feels a part of our crowd, and a man of few words, usually something derisively directed at the dog. A little bit like my father, kind of a curmudgeon, but a heart of gold, right? To be discovered latterly. Yeah, where's that dumb dog? That's kind of like the Barry's tagline. Because he's worried about Edith, because Edith is, well, she's not the smartest one in the group. Let's just put it that way. I'll leave it at that. Because Aunt's the smartest one, probably because she's already got her own water delivery company here. It's like, right? The rest of us are just like kind of ghetto stars. We get painted onto the underpasses, which are no longer in use. You notice some post-apocalyptic rich person has built an apartment building out of mud brick up here on top of the freeway. Great view up there. Okay, that's a good one right there. And this, the magical thing about this book, magical to me when I discovered that I could cut there's plenty of paper here to cut these out. Just to cut that out, and then I could put it in an envelope and send it to you, right? That's just a brief commercial. As they say on the radio shows, we have to pay the bills just for like 5 seconds, all right? Thank you so much. This is an interlude. You see here a pair of blue jeans, crossed feet, could be mine, possibly, I don't know. And a lamp, which possibly is lit, I'm not sure, because it's dark out here. It's way dark out here. Big stormy sky. The lake or the ocean, I'm not sure. Maybe, no, it's not Lake Tahoe, because the hills are dark up there. I mean, dry. Anyway, it is, and it's an interlude. So we're resting in between stories of the ant, I guess. I'm not sure what I meant. Down here is a mysterious picture of a road that curves around like this, and then on this road are 2 donkeys pulling identical carts, and in the carts are lit lamps, like oil lamps, and they're going in different directions. I'm not sure. That may speak to quantum physics. Who knows? But not much can be said about this painting. We just have to Okay, onward. Okay, now we got okay, this is all right. Everybody, I brought the whole group together and they said, well, you've done a lot better and I think you're trying too hard. That's what Tom said. I think you're trying too hard, Doug. As I come off looking kind of pedestrian here and, and poor Edith's got a broken foot and Aunt just I don't know, there's just nothing there. Snake looks like it's about to bite the Aunt's ass and everybody's, you've done better. So we'll just turn the page and we'll put that in an envelope too. I'm not sure what we'll do with it, but, now we got the kitchen is the heart of the house and everything, right? It's the heart. And right in the heart of the heart is a pumpkin or a bush of squash, which I really, really like. And, this is a pot of tomatoes on the stove and from the looks of it, it's about to tip over right on the floor, but it never will because it's just a drawing. Not just a drawing, but it's a slice of reality it's a slice. Time stops in these slices. There's, actually there is no time. There's no motion. There's just a series of watercolor paintings, one after the other. Very finely cut, one watercolor painting after another. And we move across that just like film, just like, the acetate moving in front of the light appears to move, but there is no motion. Same deal here, right? I know it's a shocker. Takes a while to get used to that one. You just have to kind of pretend. Don't let anybody know. Just stand in the corner of the party and say, these people don't know that there is no motion at all. And all the dancers are saying to themselves, they're having a good time and enjoying each other's company. They all say under their breath, yes, we do. I don't know what that is. It's a gourd. I think that's a gourd, as we say in Indiana. But some people say gourd or something strange like that. And here's the world. I mean, that's as symbolic as I get. That's pretty heavy-handed. But I don't intend it to be so because I don't intend anything. I just think, I'm going to put a world on the windowsill. 2 lemons, right? Apparently that might mean something. I don't know. But they're my friends. They're almost like they're part of the gang, the ant gangs. These 2 lemons, they're just so quiet and they smell great too. And like ants, there's a continuity of knowledge. Like, you might have to cut one lemon in half and squeeze it and have some lemonade, right? But there's always another lemon and they all know. They know what they know. The lemons know what they know. At the kitchen scene, out the window, the trees, the flowers in the mountains. I think it's nice. But I'm experimenting with skies more now. Dark, light underneath, like a storm coming. I don't know, And here's a truck that says Sasha on the back. That's the name of my pup. She's not the only one either. I'm sorry to say. All right, here's what I did this morning. It's not a kitchen. What is a kind of a kitchen scene? But you wouldn't know it. I draw upon the kitchen in which I grew up in which I grew. That's probably the way you said it. And this is a countertop here, right here. There's a cup. This is like that green glass, the 60s here, and a green glass sugar bowl here, much in use. Telephone right here. I wish we could go back, boy. If I could pull the lever and say erase digitization, erase not analog computers, but digital computers, I would pull it with no hesitation. This is a round, like antique kind of table that I did almost all my homework at. Not with candlelight, even though Abe Lincoln lived just down the street. No, that's a bed. That's a bed in there. If you try to lie on that bed, you're going to fall right off onto the floor. So, give it a go. And then there's a fish out here. People, we have guests over, rent the place on Airbnb or something like that. Some of them, they don't really complain because they're kind of, they just don't know what to make of it. This fish is just waiting outside the door, just waiting. Doesn't want anything, apparently. It's not threatening in any way. You almost want to ask, can I help you with something? And you don't, because the silence is too potent. It's too potent. And even though you have a welcome mat that says howdy, this is a gigantic fish, right? It's 10 feet tall, maybe. And it's just out there, silently waiting. I haven't decided what's going in this picture frame here yet. Something beautiful and fantastic. Now we'll turn to the next page, which is blank. Okay, everybody, that's it for now. I'm gonna go through some more. Oh wait, here's a coming attractions right here. It's a little 6x6 canvas covered book. My sister gave me a bunch of these. This is the last of them. I gotta get some more. So this is all like diary, sketchbook, like stuff I don't want you to read. The failure of the machine, meaning me, my body. But there's some of these drawings in here of which I'm very proud. I like them a lot, so to say. Anyway, I'll just go through here and tell some stories. Let's hopefully you guys can check out these sketchbooks, because honestly, they're some of the things of which I am most proud. I really think these are wonderful. But how can anybody see them? They're in a box under a chair. Nope, no, they aren't. That's not where they are. They're somewhere else in the house. They're not in a box under the chair. Forget about that. Anyway, everybody, take care. May blessings be upon you and yours, everybody. Take care and try to be kind to everybody. Especially in this age of enhanced assholery, all around. Please try to be, we really, 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 factually and objectively speaking, we are in it all together. It's not just a slogan. It is not just a slogan. And if you consider its import deeply, it's a disturbing one. It truly is a disturbing notion if you go into it. Yes, we are in it together forever. Yikes. But that's the way it is. So best to get on with it. Everybody take care. And also much love, I should say. Much love. Everybody take care. Douglas Truth. Bye-bye.